What's going on, everybody? Good morning on this January 2nd. Still getting set up. Coach Nat, get in there and say hi. She's over here hitting herself in the butt.
Oh my goodness. All right, glue. Sore. I did something. Keep switching hips.
All right, let's see here. We're gonna switch it up a little bit today. Coach Nat decided to do the elliptical.
Oh, I gotta figure out where to put this thing.
And I'm gonna turn the light on.
Oh, the lights. We forgot about the lights again.
Yeah.
I feel so tall on this one.
Woo!
Taller than you. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
I feel very tall.
Is there
on
any
this one
way
now.
you would ever be taller than me?
Maybe if I stand on a bench or a table.
All right. Here we go again.
Oh, this is so much more fun. Wait, what does that say?
That's gonna take you some getting used to.
I love this.
You haven't been in an elliptical in how long?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Used to be my go-to warm-up machine.
All right, guys, it is the 2nd of January, 2024.
I gotta find elliptical on my Apple Watch. There it is. Oh boy, I already feel my legs this time. Like literally.
You're gonna be like,
already. I don't know about 30 minutes on this thing. I'm gonna go over there and bring the phone with me.
all right, who's joining us today? Back to work. Back on the normal, regular, not holiday schedule.
Oh, for you, yeah.
I know,
I've been
right?
working my
You've been
ass
working your
the
butt.
last
Yeah.
couple of days. The
Why did you not say
open.
ass? Why did you not say ass? You stopped yourself from saying
I did
ass.
stop myself.
Why?
'Cause I don't know. Maybe because I feel like
I've been working my. She's been working her
kind of
ass
like
off.
I feel like we're on TV on this thing. Like,
For
what can
sure.
I say? That's right. People do curse on YouTube.
People
okay.
do curse on YouTube. Yes.
Although, you know, I've seen a lot of channels like avoiding it more lately. Even
Really?
Andy Frisella, they've been, I mean, he's saying it, but then they edit him out to where he's not saying it.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or maybe it's from another, wherever else he's posting that podcast.
Are they
but
his channel that's posting it, or is it
yeah, I thought so.
interesting? Huh? He's the last person.
Because I noticed that. I was like, wait a minute. They didn't say what he said right there. So I don't know. I don't know.
What do you guys think about cursing on videos? Is it a
on social
detractor?
media?
On social media, is it a detractor? Does it make the person seem more real and authentic?
I think some
How does that all
people do not like it, and other people love it.
Care? Yeah, yeah. And some people I think just don't care,
They're like,
or don't
"Oh,
even
yeah."
notice. Might not even notice, I guess.
Yeah. I think it makes some people feel more comfortable, and some people feel less comfortable
Yeah.
when they hear it. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts.
Because in real life, we both do curse.
Yes.
Yes. But in our content, we try not to. And I've always
Him in particular.
struggled. What do you mean him in particular?
I curse in my content sometimes.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't.
That's partially my upbringing and just a bunch of things. But I felt that there's a level of authenticity that I'm not letting in because of that, right? I don't know. It's always kind of been a balance. Like, I don't want to do it because I don't want to put people off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are times where I have to think. I literally have to think. Okay, don't say that. Say this. Type of thing. And I feel like that kind of may hold back. Although I've been told that my passion still comes through.
Yes.
Sometimes more than it should, anyways. So who knows? I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you like my content more? Would you even care? Or would you not want to watch me as much if I curse every once in a while?
Great question.
Just curious.
I wonder.
Yeah. So this is the first time we're seeing what this place is like in the morning.
Yeah, on a regular
day, right?
We have our regular 6 a.m. crew here, apparently.
So we may have to come up with alternate methods because, like, we may have to just go to the gym.
Oh, yeah. We could take them to our bougie gym.
Yeah. We have to get up a little earlier.
You think?
Well, because I still have to work. Like,
right.
Changing, getting over there, coming back.
Yes. Oh, we should check, too, their class schedule. Because if they have morning classes.
Super loud. Yeah, it might be really loud.
Yeah.
This wouldn't work. Well, I mean, we have these.
Yeah. If it's just the music, that's one thing. But if they're in the middle of a class, it might be a little disruptive.
Depending on what kind of class, because those instructors can yell.
Yeah.
Like, bah!
That's what I'm saying. If it's a class,
one more time.
It'll be a bit much, especially if it's a cycling class. Because
that's downstairs. They do the treadmill class upstairs, though.
Oh, yeah.
They actually have a class that's for
treadmill
treadmills.
class.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. See if we got anybody on this morning. Jay Buckle is asking, how can I recover from a torn meniscus?
Oh, boy.
Is surgery necessary? That you have to go talk to your surgeon about that.
We are not doctors.
Yeah. I have a torn meniscus in my left knee. It is 95% of the time okay. It doesn't cause me a problem, particularly over the last few years. But there was a time where it was painful all the time. I talked to a physical therapist about it, and he said basically it's like there's a flap of the meniscus that could potentially, like, basically what happens is, depending on what I'm doing, and it was when I was doing a lot of heavy 1-rep maxes, all that kind of stuff, all the time. He said depending on how much stress I put on it, it could basically cause the meniscus to kind of flip over on itself, so that there's like a double layer, and then he said that's when it hurts the most. But then if it pops back and kind of fits into place again, even though it's torn, then it won't hurt. So I haven't had that problem. Since I've been carnivore, I really don't, most of the time I don't even notice it. If I sit in a chair with my knee bent, like under me, like cross my legs for too long, when I straighten it out, I can feel it. But that's about it. It doesn't affect me walking, going up and downstairs, working out, any of that kind of stuff. But if it did, then I would go get it fixed. So I would say rehab kind of stuff as much as possible. If none of that stuff is working, then probably you go get it fixed. But only a professional
I always
can tell you that.
Yell from the rooftops, physical therapy. Physical therapy and personal training are two very different things.
Will I ever be able to train legs the same again? Yes, I think you probably could. Barring something crazy going wrong.
I don't know what the same means.
Yeah, if you
I don't know what you've been doing,
get it fixed, then you should be pretty good. I don't know anybody that's had a meniscus repair that hasn't been able to go back and just do whatever they were doing before. So,
just.
I think your chances are probably high, but go talk to a professional.
Yeah. Embrace the process of what that might look like and the timeline.
Yeah. How long did my rehab take? I didn't really do rehab per se. Again, I never got it repaired. So I didn't have surgery and then have to rehab from the surgery. I just changed how I ate, changed how I worked out a little bit, and over time it kind of just stopped bothering me. I don't know if I have a timeline per se on how that happened. Just kind of doesn't bother me anymore. Like all my injuries, right? I mean, you know, you could say about 90 days after I went carnivore is when most of my aches and pains stopped bothering me. My knees, my shoulders, all the pulls and groin pull and calf pulls and hamstring pulls and torn labrums, like all that stuff just kind of stopped bothering me. So just kind of how it works.
I would put you in the camp of hyper responder to carnivore. You were a hyper responder to carnivore, yes.
I have enjoyed it. That's for sure.
Meaning that you got a lot of
benefits
and a lot of things, very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think
your journey.
I don't know anybody that doesn't get a lot of benefits. And the thing is, I was already what most people would consider healthy in my diet when I started.
That's the crazy part.
Right? I mean, I was already paleo Whole30.
For real?
I didn't do a lot of sugar. I didn't do any processed anything. French fries, well, but that was before. That was early in the journey before I got near carnivore.
Okay.
Right? So part of that transition of getting off the French fries was what got me to paleo Whole30.
Okay.
So that was,
you were just eating
I was eating
food.
vegetables and meat.
Yep, so you had the same journey as I did, basically.
Yeah.
Which I definitely think is like, in my opinion, I think it's, I don't want to say words like best, but I think it's the best way to do it. Is to not just,
like that?
To not just dive in from eating all the crap to cutting every single thing out, and you're going to have reactions that way. You're going to have a tough time transitioning that way. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a way a lot of people go because they feel maybe desperate, or that they can't stop eating the junk unless they go carnivore. So it's like from one extreme to another, and that can be really tough on your body to make that transition. But we both started cutting junk out and getting cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and then it just kind of naturally led to carnivore. And the transition is very easy when you do it that way, because your body's basically adjusting a little bit every step along the way, and then the final straw is just cutting out the fiber, the fibrous stuff.
The wonderful fiber.
I've never been a fan of fiber.
No. Yeah, essentially, if you truly are looking for the best nutrition and you're looking at things from a nutrition perspective and how food impacts the body, the only right answer is carnivore. At the extreme, right? I think there's always, and that's where we get into bio-individuality and, lifestyle and all these other types of things, right? So that's like saying, what's a good analogy for, it's like, okay, the NFL is the
pinnacle,
the pinnacle of football, but not everybody's going to make it to the NFL.
And if you didn't play college ball and you didn't play high school ball, it's severely limiting your possibility that you would ever.
Well, not even that, but it's just like, just the idea that, okay, the NFL is the epitome, it's the extreme, it's the far end, right? That's the perfect. If everybody could play football perfectly, they'd be playing in the NFL. But most people are okay just playing football in your backyard. Right? That's okay. That's the same thing with this, right? You don't have to be this perfect
it's like that's
carnivore. That's what everyone needs to be. Whatever. Okay, great. But what fits your lifestyle? What can you do in your backyard that's going to get you further?
I always like to say, look at the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Possibly, literally. But what is the thing? What is the least healthy thing? If you can identify what is the least healthy thing I'm eating right now, just focus on that. If you have a problem eating cookies, will carnivore help you? Sure. Or you could just stop eating the cookies. It doesn't have to be a carnivore. Carnivore doesn't have to be the answer.
Carnivore cookie? Halfway there. Why does it say 5 messages? Oh no, 5 people. We got 5 people on right now. So I'm studying for this exam and getting into some of the weeds of some of the stuff that's in there, and holy crap, I definitely need to spend time getting ready for this. The level of detail in some of the information is a little more than I expected. What are you reading?
Somebody would like to join the academy. Go ahead.
There's a lot of stuff in there that's more detailed than I was expecting. Like I told you, I got to learn how to read an EKG.
Yeah.
Which makes absolutely no sense to me. Guys, the level of random, completely useless crap that goes into some of these certifications that are industry standard in health and fitness or strength and conditioning just makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to get my certification as a strength and conditioning coach.
Let me just say.
Going backwards.
Whew, it's a whole different kind of burn, y'all.
And there's this whole section on learning how to read an EKG and understanding where the electrical impulses that drive the heart come from. At what point in time, in 12 years, at no point in time have I ever worked with somebody and needed to know where the electrical impulses that drive their heart are coming from in order to help them improve their strength and conditioning. At no point in time. It makes absolutely no sense.
Now you know why not everyone has a CSC.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So yeah, there's a lot of emphasis on information and certifications that I think maybe it some way elevates, like, well, because of all of this stuff is in there, this makes it more important or more special to have this, but it doesn't apply to real life. It's just so weird. It's crazy. I will never understand.
Seems
so much.
out of scope too. Like,
yeah, right.
You're not going to be reading people's EKGs.
Yeah, I'm not giving anybody an EKG.
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
What? You know, maybe there are strength coaches out there at some level that have access to an EKG in their training room and they're giving people EKGs, right? But I think there are people that specialize in that you would say, hey, I'm your strength coach, go see that person, get this stuff done, bring the things back, and we can talk about it. I don't know. It just seems strange. It's interesting, but the more I go through this too, the more I'm reminded about this whole keto adapted athlete versus fat adapted athlete thing. I'm really, really getting this close to finalizing this theory that I want to try to get out there. But Dr. Chafee posted something the other day about being keto speeds up carb replenishment or glycogen replenishment in the body. So if you do physical activity, your body uses glycogen for fuel, but then it replaces it faster if you're keto. And it's like, hey, send me that study, please. Let me look at that. And he said he was going to try to track it down and send it to me. So that could be interesting. But in case you guys don't know, I'm really digging in on a process called ketolysis. It's very similar to, she's smiling because she knows I'm about to get
This passion project right now.
There's the way where the body uses glycogen is a process called glycolysis. And when you're a keto adapted person and you do physical activity, your body uses something called ketolysis. So the problem is that I'm noticing in the literature, in the space, even when I talk to doctors, I talked to Bart Kay, talked to Dr. Sivas, talked to Dr. Zaldivar, talked to Dr. Chafee, talked to all these people about, hey, what about this, what about that? Talked to Dr. Harper, who wrote the bio diet, like asking questions about some of this stuff, and nobody has any answers.
I know.
It just boggles my mind that all these experts seem to just completely skip over there's a whole process. Like you look up ketolysis on Wikipedia, you go to it's there, it's a thing. And it has a specific job. The problem is, I can't find anybody that says, what is that job? When does that job happen? How long does it last? How much does it use? And how fast does it take to replenish? Right? And we're talking about ketones. So I have one of my notes I saw yesterday as I was going through stuff, because I was kind of working on an outline for this paper. We talk about ketosis, right? How important ketosis is in the keto space. And from what I was talking about in my first book, in my last book, how ketosis is just an excess of fuel, right? It's just excess ketones. By definition, that's all it is. And in my notes, I have a note in there that says, what good does excess fuel do if it never gets turned into energy?
Ooh.
Right? The process by that we turn ketones into energy, nobody ever talks about. They bundle everything into fat adaptation or being fat fueled. Well, ketones aren't fat. So it's not the same thing. The way you burn fat into energy and the way you put ketones into energy are different. But for some reason, we bundle all of it into the same thing, but they don't work the same way. So my brain is just trying to rip all this stuff apart. But that's one of my hot spots right now. I'm geeking out on that kind of stuff. In case y'all are wondering what I spend my time doing when I'm not making videos or working out.
He goes down rabbit holes.
Let's see, who else we got on here?
This definitely feels.
Say again?
This definitely feels like more work.
More work? Well, you're moving
More
a little
intense.
bit. You're not even doing the top part. You're just doing the bottom part.
Sometimes I do, but I've been switching back and forth.
All right, how do I find? Oh, there. Christy's on. Why do the leaner meats taste gamey, fishy right now? Do tastes change on carnivore?
Leaner meats taste gamey and
fishy right now. Chicken, 85% ground beef. I have no idea. And FYI, 85% ground beef is not lean.
Did you say 85%?
85.
I thought you said 5%. Yeah,
So I would consider 85% to be not
middle of the road.
like middle of the road.
85 middle. 80's getting already
80's getting a little
pretty
fatty. 85's middle. For me, 88 to 90 is probably the leaner. That's what I'm doing these days. Then there's the really like the 95%.
Yeah, my prep meals are like 93, 94, 95, 96.
I would say, I mean, gamey and fishy, especially if you're saying fishy for beef or chicken, you might have bad meat. I don't know. I've never had red meat or chicken that's
If you're
tasted
talking
fishy.
about fish, like eating fish that tastes fishy, then that makes sense. That is odd.
I mean, tastes do change. And I don't know if it's taste, but preferences, I think, definitely change. Like we go through phases. We went through a phase last year where it was like 2 months we could not get enough lamb.
That's just my life.
Well, but you stopped, and then you kind of went back. Like I know for me, I couldn't get enough. I had to have lamb every day, all day, for like 2 months, 3 months.
At the least, I have it once a day.
And then it was like, okay, I don't want any more lamb. And I haven't had lamb in months.
Well, you know what it was? It was the taste. It was the one I used to get from Sprouts that was gamey, or Lidl. It was one of those stores.
Did you change? You change which lamb we were getting or something?
Yes, because now I only get it from Costco, and I get the one that's the spring lamb.
Okay.
And it's actually leaner.
Okay.
But it's a lot less gamey. So that's
gamey.
interesting. It's the exact opposite of what she's saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that it's a much more mild lamb, probably because maybe it's a younger lamb. Maybe that's what spring lamb means. I'm not sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
But the ones we were getting were so gamey that it was hard to.
Yeah.
That's right, because we ended up going off of lamb entirely for a little bit.
I do remember that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, your taste, your preferences definitely change from time to time. I had my war on chicken. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Last year.
And I was like, I don't want to look at a chicken. I don't want to think about a chicken. And I was on prep, but I was not interested in chicken at all. I'm about to go there again though, but on purpose, just going a little more lion.
Well, that was more than preference too. You have a thing against chicken.
Do what?
You have an actual thing against chicken.
I mean, I like it though.
Explain what your issues with chicken are.
It's just the least nutrient dense meat that you can get for the most part. Chicken and turkey just don't have the level of nutrition as red meat and fish. So it's not a preference. And what else? Digestion sometimes. Yeah. Some people, it can be inflammatory. So it's like, if you're going for the most anti-inflammatory and the most nutrient dense,
high in omega-6s.
It's going to be red meats.
Right? Is it omega-6? Tend to be higher in omega-6 than other meats.
I mean, that would make sense since what they eat, but I don't know. I don't remember now about the omegas.
I feel like that's one of the things with it, yeah.
I mean, all different meats have different nutrient profiles, so if I'd like to recommend for people when they're going carnivore to eat a great variety of the animal kingdom, because either way, if you're leaving something out entirely, you're leaving out some sort of nutrition that may not be in as much quantity in other things. Eggs have tons of like choline. You're not going to get that as much in pretty much anything else. So if you can handle sardines. You don't have to do a sardine fast, but you can eat sardines once a week. Salmon, mackerel, other fatty fish. Pork actually has, it's one of the B vitamins. I always forget which one.
That's why bacon is so good.
Might be. Can't remember if it's thiamine or, I think it might be thiamine that's higher in pork than it is in any other meat. So, and sometimes pork and chicken causes problems for people. So it's just all about, why are you going carnivore? Are you doing it to eliminate things because you're having health concerns and issues that you think are related to the food you're consuming? If that's the case, then you may want to go. You can do it one of two ways. You can eliminate things one at a time, or you can go full on lion diet and bring things back.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing it for overall general health and well-being and weight loss, which a lot of people are doing it for, then it's not necessary to cut every little thing out and only eat beef, salt, and water. It's not going to necessarily improve your weight loss results. You do that with your macronutrient breakdown and your activity.
Yeah, if most of what you're eating is meat and eggs, the choice of the meat and eggs that you're eating is less important for 90% of the issues you're going to have.
And unless
it's a health thing or some specific thing you're trying to
spices are not going to be a problem unless you have a problem with spices. So I just always like to encourage people to consider their own context when making these decisions. Why are you choosing to do it? What's the purpose
context?
What? What's the purpose of doing it? Are you doing it just because it's World Carnivore Month and everybody else is doing it? Are you doing it because you think you're going to get magical weight loss from it? Or are you doing it because you're actually wanting to pay attention to how particular foods impact you?
Yeah.
That will impact the way you do it and how you choose to do it.
She says, Christine says, I am on an iron supplement. I wonder if that is why. I don't know. Have you heard of being on an iron supplement changing your taste buds?
I just know there's some really bad iron supplements out there.
Yeah, well, I was gonna get into that, and that is, are you supplementing iron because you think you need to, or have you tested to see if you are actually low or not? Number one. Number two, what are you supplementing with?
Right.
What kind of iron are you supplementing with? So, the biggest thing being, number one, if you're going carnivore and you're eating enough red meat, it's very likely that you don't need to supplement unless, again, you've already identified that you're low and you're trying to get back to a good level.
And most iron supplements are not bioavailable.
Right. And then the other thing is finding a good brand of heme iron.
That
is really where you need to be looking, not just iron. I saw this the other day, which I've seen in the past before I was into all this stuff, and it never really clicked in my head. But I want to say Craig McCloskey did a video where he extracted iron filings out of Frosted Flakes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but get yourself some Special K or any kind of cereal that says iron fortified, right? And grind it all up. What did he do? He ground it all up, put it in a bowl of water, right? So put all the cereal in a blender, got it all powdered, and put it in a bowl of water, let it sit, mixed it all up and everything, and then ran a magnet around in the water, and all the iron that was in there got onto the magnet. And the thing about that is, none of that can be used by your body. All of that is absolutely toxic to the human body. But they're putting it into our food, saying fortified with iron is good for you because your body needs iron. Well, the problem is it's literally flakes of iron metal, not heme iron in a form that your body actually uses to do the things that it uses iron for.
And whatever your supplement is, look at the supplement, look at what type of iron they put in there. Yeah. Most iron supplements are not heme iron. Correct. Because you can't really get it in that form.
Unless it's from animal meat.
Yeah. So those are going to be more like you're going to actually have a peptide in there that's from an animal.
You're right.
So look at what the iron is from on your supplement and just do a Google search. What is this form of iron? And it'll tell you.
Right. And again, only if you need it. So get checked, talk to your doctor. If you have an iron deficiency, then you probably need to supplement iron. If you don't have an iron deficiency and you're eating more red meat than you used to because now you're going carnivore or you're going just keto with more meat, you might be good.
I will add the caveat for women. Get your iron, get a full iron panel. So
full, always full.
Get your total iron binding capacity, your UIBC. I always forget what the U stands for, but unbinded, I think. Total and unbinded.
Unbinded or unbound?
Whatever. That's not even the word that the U actually stands for, but it's the stuff that's not bound. There you go. Yeah. And but particularly your ferritin. Get your ferritin checked because your iron levels might look great. Mine are over the high end because I've been supplementing my ferritin. Well, I don't know because LabCorp won't get back to me, but I'm waiting to get my latest ferritin. We've been working on it.
It's been high. It's been low.
It's been low.
It's been low.
So, yeah. But a lot of supplements are not going to fix the problem because you're not actually receiving, your body's not absorbing that iron.
Right. It goes to the common issue with a lot of supplements is just putting more in your body doesn't necessarily fix if your body can use it or not.
If your body's not absorbing it.
Right. So there's a couple different things to look at there. We good?
I made it 30 minutes on the elliptical.
First actual day of the new year.
I might actually go back to the treadmill next time.
She worked a lot harder than she thought. See you guys.